Record. Welcome, Reckless Wanderers. This is Robert, and today we're going to talk about Endless Heist, which I just ended a while ago. Like this. Wait for it. So, and if we zoom in, which the browser doesn't let me here. Okay, I'm not gonna zoom in. Let me just switch over to the gameplay here. We managed to get to level 85 with the beautiful death that just hit me exactly after I leveled up. I decided to stop playing Endless Heist. My original goal was to go, obviously, to go to level 95, just like I did it with Endless Delve. Endless Delve I actually enjoyed with the Poisonous Concoction Occultist. And Endless Heist, I also enjoyed the character. So I plan to build a Righteous Fire Inquisitor, and that's exactly what I did. So I started leveling with Fireball, Flame Wall, Holy Flame Totem into Wintertide Brand, and then spec'd over to Armageddon Brand as soon as it was available, and then played Armageddon Brand all the way until I got the second Ascendancy, at which point I could switch into Righteous Fire seamlessly. That was after over 10 hours. Now this character has been played for 20 hours. So after 20 hours I'm throwing the towel at level 85. So the first 10 hours I did obviously on the pure Endless Heist event XP that there was, which basically was no XP. Oh, look at that Wood Splitter 5 link. And yeah, so Saturday and Sunday I was basically heisting, and it was just so painfully slow. The XP was basically non-existent. Going through these zones was so annoying. And then on Monday, after I hit level 60, I read in the patch notes that they're gonna fix it, or that they did fix it, and that XP in low-level zones is now greatly improved. And yeah, thank you. That was great. I mean, people are saying, how did they not test this before? I guess if you don't play this for a couple of hours, then it's actually pretty hard to notice this problem. But yeah, let's not go into that discussion. Anyway, apart from my initial experience being suboptimal, again, the character turned out to be quite alright, especially with the gear that I acquired. So this is again a solo self-found character, even though I made the mistake to set it up in the Trade League. Unfortunately, I just clicked the button, I was tired, and then I was in Trade League, and I basically only knew it after I leveled a bunch, and then I just didn't want to start from the very beginning. But what we're actually working with is I picked up a Thief's Trinket fairly early on, around level like 46, 47, in one of my first blueprints, which I found a total of 5. And 3 of them I found below level 60. And that is like one of the problems. Like if we check the website again, then this one states here, from area level 50 onwards, contract display cases will also have a chance to drop a blueprint. Quest contracts and unique contracts will not be available in this event, but yeah, blueprint. And in earlier it says actually, here, contracts and blueprints are available in large quantities. Yeah, like I said, I found 5 between level 50 and level 85 after running, I would say, like 12 hours of heist in above level 50 zones. So finding 5 in 12 hours does not exactly sound like a lot, but that's what we're working with. Wrong scene, by the way. So yeah, that happened, but still the trinket that I eventually got transforms augmentations into chaos orbs, which is kind of nice. And I noticed that this was working because I got a bunch of chaos stacks where I had like 2 stacks, like a stack of 4 and a stack of 6, and usually they would go together. So I thought that this was then probably an instance of augmentations transformed into chaos orbs. The other perk that's on it, 1% chance in Heist for items to drop fully linked. I felt that that was pretty nice because you will get a bunch of 4 links. Yay. And maybe the 1 and the other 5 link. And then anecdotal evidence, like just moments later I dropped this, an ambush charge, which is 5 linked. And I thought, hey, the trinket works. But no, it doesn't, because this is a 6 socket and it's not fully linked. So no, the trinket did not proc on this thing. And then again, if you think about it, the chances of getting a 6 link through a trinket through this is very, very slim, because first of all, you don't get many 6 links. I would say you get like 1 every hour, and then there's like a 1% chance that it fully links. So you need to play like, I don't know, 100 hours. If you're an unlucky chap like me to get a 6 link and who wants to play 100 hours of this event. But enough bitchin'. I was still very happy about Ambush because it has auras, it has life, it has armor, energy shield, so it's nice to color, and it has 2% of life regenerated per second if you have been hit recently. I'm always getting hit due to me being spec'd into Unwavering Stance, so that is a nice regen perk. For the belt, I got a Soul Thirst. Actually, I found 3 of them, so I guess the game really wants me to use this. It's kind of hard to use it because it only really gives you a Soul Eater while you have a flask effect running. But if you use another flask while the flask is running, then you lose all the souls. So it's really hard to actually properly play around this. But still, it is the best belt that I found so far, which says something. Most happy about, I'm actually about the shield. I found a Sapphir's Frame. This is like perfect for this build because now resists are 89, 83, 84. 84 is coming from the Purity of Lightning that Binderi gives me, so it would be 89, 83, 83. Why 89? Because I found this beauty as well. Amulet, which unfortunately does have no life, but it has 29 to all res due to the implicit and the explicit, and it grants the level 23 Purity of Fire. So with a normal level 20 or 21 Purity Fire, you only get to 88%. With a level 23, you get to 89%, which is like super awesome. So fire damage can actually not do much to me. Although I'm feeling that the archers with explosive arrow or the ones that fire barrages actually are kind of terrifying every now and then. So not sure what's up with that. Also, where am I actually going? This is not the way out. So yeah, then the usual stuff: get Val Molten Shell, get Infernal Cry, get Flame Wall. I'm running on a 4-link Flame Wall. I do have... Oh, look at that. That might have been a 1% thing. Nice that this happened on a video. I did play with Scorching Ray for quite a while, but found it to just be too dangerous in this event. Because there's just too much stuff that can actually kill you if you stop moving. So here you see I'm actually vulnerabilitied, and there's a lot of damage coming from those dudes. But as long as you're moving, you're actually kind of safe. So I try to stay mobile and just drop my Flame Wall here and there, and then drop my Cry, and that will eventually pop those guys. My life total is really not great because most of my other gear pieces, they don't have that much life. So I ended up only at 5k life, and which is in 83 heists really not great. It's really basically only the resistances that keep me alive. Nice helmet with 10% increased life regeneration rate. The scepter really has nothing on it but 10% damage over time. 1 ring to bump my chaos resist to a somewhat not respectable but decent, not so negative value of -32. The other ring has some life on it. The boots, they only have 41 life. Boots, that's not boots, that's gloves. And the boots, they have no life on it, but those were the best boots that I actually have found. It's 35% move speed sometimes. But like I said, I'm unwavering stance, so I'm getting hit a lot, so it's only 30% move speed. I did find them at level 82 or 83, so 2 levels before I ended the event. Until then, I was running around with, I think, Chevron's Pace, which are also 35% move speed boots, but only if you're on full life. And yeah, in Heist, you are not that often on full life when you're getting hit, even with a lot of regen. These boots I found around level, I would say 62, 63. And for the longest time, all the way from level 12 to level 62, I used Victario's Flight because those were the best move speed boots I could find at that point. So yeah, those items I wasn't too lucky about. It's basically just the ambush, the amulet, and the shield that is nice. And yeah, like I said, the character looks very stupid with this. It looks like a fat man with a fancy shield and a rust bucket on its head. Tons of fun to play, but not so fun to play in Heist League or in Endless Heist, basically. And that's sad because I was really looking forward to this event. I like Heist. Heist was the league where I got a level 98 character in for the very first time. And I like the NPCs, I like the banter, but the event unfortunately has some issues. One thing they fixed, that's the poor XP scaling. I guess that's much better now. However, now there's still this problem that when you escape the facility, you have no way of knowing when mobs are giving XP or not. So I wish they could improve on that. I guess it's justified that they stop giving XP at some point, but it's just very hard to see. And it would be nice that when you're escaping and you actually do want to kill some dudes, that you have an indicator when they are not giving XP anymore. What I really didn't like in this event was the slow mission, the mission variety, because when the event started at the very beginning, you only have 3, maybe 4 mission types available to you, and that's lockpicking, brute force, and engineering. And maybe agility was in there, I don't remember. And that means you have a limited amount of rogues that you can use, and also you have a limited amount of reward chest that you can open. Now, I don't know why they chose to do this. Maybe it was because of the reward types that you weren't allowed to use, for example, Niles or Lynette for the first 50 levels, or Gianna. Like these 3 you basically could not use because their mission types were level gated. You could only do those missions once you were able to drop level 50 heists, and that was, first of all, very boring, not having the full arsenal of missions available. And second of all, yeah, I mean, it was nice that we didn't have to unlock them step by step, so all the rogues were there from the very beginning. But still, having only 3 or 4 mission types for 50 whole levels was very boring. I wish they could change that for the future if they run this event again. Another thing that I didn't like is the gear. In general, I enjoy equipping my rogues with gear. I normally don't do it in a normal league, because in the normal league I'm focusing on the league mechanic and on the Atlas and not so much on Heist. But during Heist League I was actually enjoying switching gear around, going into a blueprint and then making sure I have the right gear for the blueprint and so on to maximize opening chests, to maximize the alert, the lockdown duration and whatnot. And I was actually not kidding. I was actually looking forward to doing this in this event. But then the gear is the same thing with the mission variety. The gear stops dropping really late. Like for the longest time, I would say until level 30, 35 or even 40, I don't know, there was no Heist gear dropping at all. I actually had to make sure that it was enabled in my loot filter because I was getting paranoid. But then again, it's just because the gear requires level 2 to drop. And rogues, in order to level up, they need a ton of XP from a low level zone. So getting a rogue to level 2 was actually quite challenging. I don't know when I got my first level 2 rogue. Obviously I did hack, because hack gives increased XP. And for some reason the items just start dropping super late. And now I feel like I had no real time to go from the lowest tier, which is, for example, this the Torn Cloak, to the highest tier, which is the Whisper Woven Cloak. It felt like that the level difference between those items dropping was like 60 to 83, which was the last like 3 or 4 hours of my gameplay, because those actually went by pretty fast. So yeah, I wish they could stretch this out a little bit further, because you don't get too many upgrades once you reach like level 68 and you get your last ascendancy points, or I guess that's 75. Your gear doesn't upgrade anymore, but so it would be nice to focus on something else in the meantime. And yeah, last but not least, one final gripe that I now have, that I actually didn't feel so much before, although it's fundamental, and that is just the way how alert is generated. I still wish that alert generation would not come from opening chests, but somehow by some interaction with guards. Now this is tricky, because obviously PoE is a game about killing mobs, and you kind of want to engage with mobs and not be punished for engaging with them. So I don't know how they could do it, but I wish there was a way where you could just break into the facility, try to steal as much as you can without getting detected, and maybe there's means of avoiding detection. There's things like Smoke Mine, there's things like Stibnite Flask, and maybe there would even be a skill that allows you to create a smoke cloud on impact, so that you can blind enemies and then they don't detect you. And if they detect you, you have a certain amount of time to kill them before they raise the alarm. Maybe even the guards themselves, they need to go to a room to touch on a button to activate an alarm, and you can stop them on their way there, something like that. Or you could actually bring this sounds like a joke, but I actually mean it. You can bring back Conversion Trap, make it to an AoE skill. You convert a bunch of guards, and then they just don't notice you. It's like Ben Kenobi on the Death Star talking to the stormtroopers, something like that. So that you can also give non-DPS characters a way to deal with that. And then they could nerf the rewards, or they probably should nerf the rewards from the chests a bit, but then you could open basically all the chests and don't have to be so concerned about what you kill and what you don't kill, or what you open or what you don't open, and you can just focus on maximizing that. And lastly, and that's something that I just hope that they would do for the game in general, is just remove aura stacking on rare monsters. It is such a BS mechanic, and I still believe that this is still in the game. I guess it is there because you need to rein in the power of actually skilled players and give them a quote-unquote challenge. But man, it is... If you open a door and you see that there's a extra damage, subfizz, powerful crits, haste, like these 4 rares behind the door, together with 2 blue packs and 20 white mobs, you know that it's basically just up for chance if you survive this or not. And I don't know, at that point it stops being fun. With this character it wasn't as bad, because I could just basically pop all flasks, pop Vile Molten Shell, Shield Charge in, and Infernal Cry, and maybe the first white mob I kill will trigger a chain explosion. But it also cost me 9 deaths, so even with a character that's supposed to be tanky and has a lot of armor scaling and super high elemental resists, heist mobs just win. So yeah, that's that. I'm glad it's over. I would still say it was fun while it lasted. But I'm also glad that I can stop playing this now. I'm really looking forward to the Atlas Invasion. I'm gonna play my my Cremation Necro there that I played also during the Hardcore event, and I hope to see you there. Let me know in the comments if you played this event, what your thoughts are on it, what you would improve, what you find problematic, and see you around. Bye bye.